Alright, so I'm supposed to have Evan here today to teach him how to play, but it looks like he's not yet available. So we'll have to wait and see about that. In the meantime, I'm going to try doing some Go problems here. Have the Tabletop Simulator server information up on the stream if you want to join. Let's see. This doesn't do anything, right? I feel like the only thing that does anything is playing here. Is that still dead? Oh, you have to let him capture. Yeah, so Go problems are a really great way to get better after you know the basic rules. A lot of them are life and death problems, which means you're either trying to live or you're trying to kill something. In this situation, it's black to move, so black is trying to live with this group here. And yeah, it's going to be one of the... So this is kind of a tricky one. You have to let him capture these stones, and then you play there and capture the white stones. So if this continued, if white played here, you would capture. And now you have one eye here and one eye here. Yeah, the website I'm on is just goproblems.com. Some of the problems, like this one, end up being kind of weird. Like this isn't a real board, but for the most part it's pretty good. That one's kind of large. Yeah, you have to die to live in that case. That's called playing under the stones, referring to the stones that got captured. So you let the stones get captured and then you play in the spot where one of the captured stones was. There are various little tricks like that in Go that you learn as you get better. Let's see. So white has to kill all of these. Guess you just play here and then here, right? That was easy. Okay, so in this one, white has to live. I kind of want to put this on an actual board so I can like show some variations here. Let's go ahead and whoops. Let's bring the full-size board over here. So this problem looks like, oh, text might be hard to see now. Put it down there. Alright, so this problem looks like this. Probably have to zoom in on this corner though. Well, I need some white stones. Let's move the white ball over here. That's annoying. Why won't they line up? Oh well. Let's see, let's put that up there. Okay, so we have this. This is something I used to do at my local Go club. If we didn't have time to play another game, or if we were waiting for a different game to finish, we would do some Go problems. Simple Go problems look like a fun way to emulate Go scenes in an RPG without doing a full-out Go game. Yeah, that's true. It's a pretty good idea. You can buy books of Go problems, like a whole book with just problems, and they're focused on different things. Like one of them might be about, just looking at some of the ones I have here, you could have like problems about attack and defense, you could have life and death. There are a lot of like opening game theory, stuff like that, end game stuff. So a lot of different categories. But yeah, so it's white to move here. So let's say that white plays here, right? Maybe I'll do more of an overhead shot. Looks a little bit better. So if white plays here, it looks like this is an eye. But if black plays here, this is actually not an eye. This is what they call a false eye. So a false eye, explain that real quick. Let's say white has this group here, and then black is going to surround it. Say like that. So white has one eye here already, and it looks like white can make a second eye here by playing here, because now this is technically surrounded. But the problem with that is that this white stone here doesn't have enough liberties. If black plays here, now it only has this one, so black would be able to capture it. So the only thing white can do is fill that space in, but now you're filling in your own eye. So it's kind of a tricky situation where this looks like an eye, but it's really not. To make it an actual eye, white would need a stone here as well, because now this white stone can't be captured. So that's sort of what's happening here. This is a false eye if white does that. If white plays here, of course, black can just play here, and now there's no eye. So what I'm thinking is white should try this move. You don't really want to let black connect there. So let's just see what would happen. Black has to capture, right? If black doesn't capture the white stone, white's next move is this, which makes two eyes. So black either has to capture or extend here, but extending doesn't really do much, does it? So white would capture there, and then black has to turn this into not an eye. Yeah, that doesn't work. So, where were we? So white played here, so black has to capture. And then white... You can play here, threaten to capture those, black is forced to connect, and then you can play here, and that's Atari, and black can't do anything about it. Black can capture that back, but that doesn't matter, you're just alive now. Yeah, so I think that's the right sequence there. I'm going to ping here and see if anyone else is available. Yeah, so let's try that out. So we play there, we play there, we play there. Yeah, that's it. Sometimes there are different, like more than one solution as well. Not in this case though. Well, on this move there are a couple different ones you could technically play there. That works. Doesn't really matter which one you play though. Still a co-thread either way. Have to resize this every time. Tristram Wolf, forgot to ping him. I don't know if he's available. Okay, so black has to capture these white stones. Let's see. Wow, how do we have so many viewers? Seems like a lot. Okay, so the white stones currently have 3 liberties here. The problem, of course, is that if black fills in one of these two, white can play there. And then threaten to capture. So black has to do something in the corner here. I think this is the move. Let me think. Black plays there, white can just play here, right? Yeah, so that doesn't work. Yeah, B1 is what I'm thinking. So black plays here, white captures, and then black plays there. Yeah, then white just doesn't have enough liberties, right? White has to fill in this one and this one, so you get an extra move. Yeah, so that works. Yeah, A1, A3. And now white has to fill in both of these, so we can go ahead and do that. Seems good. I'm thinking here, and then black plays here. Wait, maybe Yohane first? S19, R18, or R19, S18. Oh, so you make the... Yeah, So you connect 3 in the middle there. Yeah, because if you play anywhere, if you let black get S19, then he just lives because he has an eye in the corner. So has to be that. This is fine, right? Yeah. No one's joined yet. Maybe we should have done a different day. Evan said he would be available, but looks like he's not online. What's that thing? What thing? Ah, okay. No problem. Yeah, that was Tabletop Simulator. I'm supposed to have someone here to teach, but he's not online yet. Let's see. What are we supposed to do here? This, I guess? Does that work? Alright, let's see. This is a race problem. I don't know. I mean, it looks like you're supposed to capture these 2 white stones. C17. Yeah, I guess that is what it has to be. Yeah, this is fine. Whoops. Yeah. Accidentally played an extra move there, but think you have to do this. No. And then C1. Ah, you can't connect, yeah. That, I don't think that works still though. Oh yeah, you just play here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so if you play S19 here, then you have an I and he doesn't have an I, right? So, um, you have 3 liberties. Yeah, so you should be fine. Alright, let's see. I feel like you can't capture these, can you? Yeah, so that just makes the most points. Yeah, you just squeeze. So this move is free, right? And then you just play here. Is there anyone else I can ping on the L5R server? Doesn't look like it. So this has got to be something with the side here, right? Yeah, if you want to hop on and play, that would be fine. Hopefully Evan does show up eventually. We'll see. Wondering if you just try to get more liberties here. And he has to connect. He just connects though, right? Alright, well, Evan's here, but he can't play yet. Yeah, I don't know. I might just look at the solution to this one. I'm not seeing it. Okay, so it is here. See what happens. Black has to play there, right? Okay, so you just have more liberties and you capture that. Seems fine. Alright. So let me redo this. I know who that is. I don't know if I have a picture of them. Let me get some out real quick. Yeah, if you want to mute the stream and I can turn on my audio in here. Let me just get this image real quick. All right. So, we'll do handicap 5 handicap, I guess. Let's see, maybe I'll... Looks good. All right, so I move first. Go there. Seems good. I want him to push me that way, probably, so I'll go there. Oh. Okay, so probably just do that. Thinking about defending the corner, I guess. You don't need to. You're pretty fine, so yeah, that's not really the most valuable move here. Let's see, where am I gonna go? Maybe I jump in here. Let's try that. Yep, so now I can either, I think I should descend here probably. Okay. Interesting. I think I go here maybe, even though I don't really want that cut to happen. I think it's fine. Now I go down. That is fine. That is also fine. Perhaps even more fine. I don't really want to push right now. The corner can still live, I think. So I want to play here. So it does not do that. Yeah, that move probably should have been in the corner to live, I guess. 'Cause if you play at the 2-2 point, I think you're alive. Not 100% sure. In this case, I think black is always dead, though. So now you should do the net probably on that one stone that's on the black side of the wall. You should not do that. Do I need to respond to that? I think I actually do. Should I connect? No, I think if I connect, I'm actually in a... Actually, if I connect, am I okay? Black plays there, white plays there, black plays there, white plays there. Yeah, I'm okay. So I should connect here, actually. So that reduces the liberties on those two black stones in the center by 1. Now I can set up some kind of shenanigans there. Oh, I still have that text on the screen, don't I? Whoops. Let me not have that. It's better. Oh, hey, Honeywell is hosting me. Interesting. Maybe that's why I had so many viewers, actually. That would make sense. Okay, so I can descend here or I can capture. I think they both have pretty much the same effect. Maybe descend is slightly better. Yeah, I think I descend. Should be fine. Okay. Yeah, that is interesting. So now do I play there, or do I play there? Those are the two moves, I think. Either way, I'm going to end up... I think I play here. Because either way, I'm going to have to capture those stones, right? I'm actually probably going to... Ooh, that's not where you want to play. So I keep pushing now. So I was about to say I think I end this whole thing in Gote to live, but now I should just be fine. So black actually needs a protecting move now in the center, or something might happen. So a couple good thoughts there. That is probably not the right move, if I had to guess. So now I think I Atari the 2 stones on top. right? Yeah. I don't even need to capture these stones on the bottom to live. I can just capture the 3 on the right. So as long as they're dead, I'm just fine. So if black descends, I follow on top. That is kind of dangerous, maybe. No, it should be fine. So I have 3 liberties over on the right side with my big white group, so I think I'm fine. What server is this? This is not a server. This is a program called Tabletop Simulator. You can get it on Steam. Ooh, that's not what you want to do. Essentially, I think I just capture here now. Essentially, the point of the program is just to simulate like an actual tabletop. So there are a bunch of different games you can play, not just Go. It comes with all of these, and then you can download more on the Steam Workshop that other people make. And it doesn't have rules to any of the games incorporated. It's just like you're actually at a table playing, so you have to know the rules yourself. I like it because, you know, it feels like you're actually at a table playing against someone. Probably good for new players as well, I think, which is what I've mainly been using it for, is teaching new players how to play. Yeah, so I don't have to worry about that black group at all. I do have to capture these now, but that's fine. Hello, Yeti393. How's it going? Yeah, it's multiplayer online. So yeah, I'm playing against another person right now. So now I capture these. But like you see here, when I capture stones, I actually have to drag them off the board because it doesn't have any of the rules like built in. Yeah, it's not free. It does cost like $15. Sometimes you can get it on sale. It's a fun program though if you have friends online and you like to play board games. Like, one of the things that we used it for before was playing a card game called Legend of the Five Rings. Until we got an online implementation for that. Yeah, friends. So black's all dead on the bottom now, and the top is not looking good. So the game's pretty much over. Yeah, you can flick stones. Yeah, I've heard of friends as well. It's pretty fun. Can hit each other, I think. Yep. Can you throw the board? Yeah, there's a flip table option. I'm not going to do it right now. There is an undo, but... yeah, it's a pretty fun program. So I'm going to move there. I guess I'll play here. And yeah, like I said, there's the Steam Workshop where people make mods, so there's a lot of different stuff you can play. Um, I don't know what some of this is. I just subscribe to a bunch of things. But like, oh hey, that's relevant. Lords of Waterdeep, that's a fun board game. Um, Dominion, some good stuff on there you can download. Yeah. Okay, so now I keep pushing down to the edge, right? Yeah, and then I just capture that. I think it might actually be time to stop the game pretty soon because black is running out of things that are alive. Yep. We can just play there. Maybe I should just stop it right now, actually. Yeah, that's fine. So now I play there. No, so like I was saying, the software doesn't actually know the rules to any of the games that you're playing. It just simulates a tabletop. So like it won't count for you. It won't keep track of points. It won't do anything like that. Because you would have to code that separately for like every game you wanted to put on here, which would be a lot of work. So you're just expected to know the rules yourself. Like you can just think of it like it's like you're literally at a table with a Go board playing against someone. Yeah, some of the games do have scripting, that's true. You can add scripts to it so it can keep track of things or do certain things for you. I kind of care about that. Don't want those two groups to connect, so I just capture this. Your opponent just cheated? What happened? Oh, you mean that they put a stone down and then changed it? Yeah, I'm playing against a beginner here, so I'm not too worried about cheating or anything. I think it probably is about time to stop the game, though. What's your approximate strength? It's been a pretty long time since I played like an actual game. Uh, Back when I used to play, the best I got to was like 2Q. If I were to play now, it would probably be closer to like 4Q or something. Yeah, high single digit Q. Yeah, I really should stop the game and talk about it, but I want to see if anything else interesting happens. Yeah, no. Alright, I think I'll just stop it here. We can talk about what's dead and what's alive. Alright, so we're kind of getting to a point where the game is just about over. I think most of the black groups ended up dying. Um, let's see, could this one have lived? I don't think so. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. I think I just connect here. Yeah, yeah, no, Evan is not available yet still, but I figured it was about time to end this one. Maybe that can live, because if you play here, and I play there, you play there, I guess I have to connect then? Let's see. Come on. Yeah, that's dead. So yeah, let's just go back to the start and we can go over I don't know where I got that from. Can go over some of it. Yeah, so let's look at the start. So it started out pretty good. I believe you play here, I played here, you played here, I descended. Alright, for sure. Yeah, I'll keep going over the game on stream since I have nothing better to do yet. But yeah, so at this point, one thing I was saying was your next move was here. This was kind of a waste of a move because, I mean, your corner is not like too important right now. Like, what's the worst I could do? Just do that. This doesn't work, right? Yeah. So yeah, this move was kind of not really high priority. A better move would have been... Oh, hey, Evan's here. So yeah, a better move would have been probably something like this. Because this way my white group still has like literally 0 eyes. So I have to like keep running and try to do something else. Yeah, so Evan should be here very soon and I can teach him how to play. Yeah, so like this way I think there's just no chance for my white group to live, right? Just no way for me to make eyes. But this way I was able to get an extra move. I went ahead and played a little bit aggressively because you're still ahead on the board here with the big handicap. So yeah, jumping in here to sort of poke a little bit more. This was the correct move. Then I descended here to put more pressure on the corner. I believe you played here. Yeah, this is fine. And I played there. So at this point, actually I think, yeah, you did play here, which is fine again. And then I descended. So now, I think you can actually still live in the corner by playing this move. The 2 point is usually pretty important in the corner for making eyes. Let's see, was there anything I could do? Is this dead actually? Something like that kills, maybe? I mean, I still don't have a lot of liberties here. But yeah, I think that's definitely... what should have been tried here. The move you actually played was here, I believe. And one thing I always say is you should avoid playing on the edges and the corners unless you absolutely have to. I believe I played here next, so after I play this move, the black stones in the corner are just dead. So yeah, it's better to just give those up and connect here at this point. And then like everything on this side of the board is just black territory. I believe you played here and allowed me to push through. And then you played on the first line again. Bad connection, which allowed me to keep pushing. And this is where it sort of got dangerous for these two stones here. One of these moves should just be here. And if you play here, I still can't cut you off here. Like I can capture this, but then you can connect. So that's usually better than playing on the first line there. But yeah, what ended up happening was I just kept pushing, and then at this point I just Atari'd these stones, so I switched focus to those. And I think you played over here at some point. At some point you did that. Yeah, hello. I figured. I don't think you played here to save these. Or to try to save these anyway, although I don't think it would have worked. Oh, you did this. That's what you did. And I think I just connected. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, the main idea, I think, was to just focus more on keeping my stones more separated and doing something about their eyes since they didn't have eye space at the beginning. But yeah, so Evan, can you hear me okay on here? It says you have a bad connection. Yeah, so I think by default it's push to talk, so the push to talk key is C. You can change it to a toggle, which is what I did. The other option, of course, is we could just do voice chat on Discord instead of on here.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, yeah. Sounds
Cool.
good.
How do you change it to toggle?
To toggle? Oh, so you go to menu configuration, and then
Okay, I think I got it.
yeah, sound, voice chat.
Cool. Is my air conditioner too loud?
No, I can't hear it.
Okay, good.
Alright, so
Also, I hope my connection. So far, it's working.
yeah, it seems okay. I'm not sure why it says bad connection there, but yeah, so yeah, definitely. Thanks for playing. So yeah, I guess we'll just start pretty much from scratch here. I think you
I'm ready to
saw,
learn court games in real life.
yeah, I think you saw some of the stream yesterday, but you probably don't really know any of the rules yet.
Yeah, I know you take turns placing stones.
Yeah, that is true. So, yeah, so you place stones on the intersections. The board we have here is a 9 by 9 board. It's the smallest standard size. There's also a 13 by 13 and a 19 by 19 is the biggest one, although it's very small on here for some reason. But yeah, 19 by 19 is the standard size, but when I'm teaching people how to play, I start them out on the 9 by 9 since it's a lot easier to figure out. There's less that you have to be aware of. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So the main objective of the game is to the Chinese name for the game, I believe, actually translates to the surrounding game. So the objective of the game is basically to surround empty space. You can think of it like one analogy that I like is you can think of it like the stones you're placing are fence posts, and you're going to be fencing off territory. So like if I do something like this, I'm fencing off this territory inside. So right now this black group has 4 points of territory. So yeah, at the end of the game, this would be worth 4 points.
Cool.
Another way to get points, in addition to surrounding territory, is to capture enemy stones. So if there's an enemy stone on the board and you want to capture it, you have to surround it on all 4 sides that are connected by a line. So you don't need stones on the diagonal points, just the horizontal and vertical ones.
Okay.
And if you surround all 4 points, the stone is captured. So one term that we use is if a stone has empty spaces next to it, we call those the stone's liberties. Another term you might hear is breathing space. So right now the stone has 4 liberties, so it's perfectly fine. If I play a black stone here, now this liberty is filled in, so it only has 3 left.
Gotcha.
And if I play one here, it has 2 left. There it has 1 left. When a stone only has 1 liberty left, we say that it's in Atari, which just means that it's 1 move away from being captured. And then if black fills in that last space, then it's captured.
Okay.
And again, captured stones are worth 1 point, and empty spaces of territory are also worth 1 point. There are different scoring systems, but that's... What happened?
Actually get all of these spaces around it.
You cut out in the middle there. What was that?
Oh, sorry. I was asking, do you actually get this point? Like, would you get a point here even if you don't connect the corners? Or at the end of the game, I mean, besides capturing?
Yes. So the thing is, the game wouldn't end with these 4 stones being in the state, really.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see how it works later.
Okay. Cool.
So let's see, what do I want to do next? So let's go back to having the white stone here. So if white wants to save this stone, he can try to run away. And the way you do that is you would play a stone here. And now since there are 2 white stones next to each other, they are going to share liberties. So they form a group of stones. So if we didn't have these black stones here, these 2 white stones would have 6 liberties instead of 3.
Got it.
6. So if black wants to capture the 2 white stones, he has to surround all 6 of those spaces.
Gotcha.
Yep. And a group can be, it can be pretty much as big as the board will fit. Like you can just keep connecting stones. Again, if they're diagonal, they're not connected to each other. So this is not a connection here. This would be 2 separate white groups technically. But white could connect them at any time by playing either of those moves. So for all intents and purposes, they are connected. but
Yep.
technically they're not. So another quick rule here. So let's say we have this black group, and white wants to play on this space. Well, if white were to play here, this white stone would immediately come onto the board with no liberties, because all of them are already occupied by black stones, right?
Yep.
So what we would call that is like a suicide move. You would play there, and then the white stone would just be captured immediately. So that is actually an illegal play.
Okay.
There are like technically 3 types of illegal plays. One of them is playing a move that would be a suicide move. Another one is obviously playing on a space that already has a stone on it. You can't do that. And then the third one is an extra rule that I will get to later.
Okay.
If there are 2 empty spaces on the inside, white can play on one of them because it still has this 1 liberty left. But then, yeah, you wouldn't be able to play there then, because now these 2 white stones have no liberties left. So you can only play one or the other.
But then black can play on the other one and take it then.
Yes, that is correct. Black
So it's
can play there
technically
and
legal,
capture it.
but there's probably not very many situations where you'd actually want to do that, right?
Yeah, well, we're going to get to that right now, actually.
Okay.
So let's say white wants to capture this black group. So white's going to try surrounding the whole thing, which will take a moment. There we go. So all of the outside liberties of the black group are occupied, but it still has these 2 on the inside. So if white wants to capture it, it has to fill both of those in. So again, you can play there, and you're fine. And now say black doesn't play anything, he passes. White can actually now play this move, because even though these 2 white stones, it looks like it's a suicide move, but the reason you can play it is because you're capturing the black group. So you can kind of think it like capturing the opponent's group kind of has priority. So after you capture that, now these 2 white stones are fine.
Okay.
So
And
what's that?
Oh, sorry. I guess I just cut out again.
What?
Am I back?
Yeah.
If there's only 1 stone, like if it were the line of black were like down here, and it was surrounded, then you can play in the middle. For instance.
Yes, if you had one here, yeah, if it's all surrounded on the outside, you can play in the middle and capture it, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So one thing you might wonder is, well, how do I avoid being captured? And the answer to that is you do something like this. So now, this black group has 2 inside liberties still. But if white were to try to play in either of those spaces, that would be a suicide move, so that would not be allowed, because it would just capture that white stone.
You're only allowed to do a suicide move on the turn that you're capturing.
Right. So if you were able to play both of these spaces at once, then you would capture, but you can only play 1 move at a time. So you can't play in both of them simultaneously. So we would say that this black group is alive, which means that it's impossible now for white to capture it. White can do anything he wants, but this black group will never be captured. The only way for it to be captured is if black actually fills in one of his own spaces, and now white can play there, but obviously you would never do that.
Right.
So that's kind of one of the goals of this game, is to make sure your groups are alive and your opponent's groups hopefully aren't. So then you can capture their stones, but they can't capture yours. And that's kind of a higher level thing a little bit, but you'll sort of see how that works as we play. So if we go back to this point, at this point, black is still not technically alive. After you play this move, you're alive, but before this move, if you let white play there, now you're actually dead. Because, now it's impossible to split this into 2 separate empty spaces. If you don't do anything, white's just going to keep filling it in, and even if you capture that, white fills in again, you can capture it, but then white can play there now. So yeah, at that point you're not alive. So the key idea there is that you need 2 separate internal spaces, and we call those eyes. A group needs 2 eyes to live. Oops.
Makes sense.
Yep. There are different ways of saying it in different languages as well. Like, we use a lot of the Japanese terms in English because we, the English-speaking Go community, kind of learned about Go through the Japanese. But like in China, I believe they call them lungs. So if you don't have 2 lungs, you can't breathe. So then you die. Makes sense as well. There are a lot of different like analogies like that.
That actually makes more sense.
Yeah. You'll usually hear English speakers say eyes though, because again, we got it from the Japanese.
Right.
You can also have more than 2. More than 2 is fine, but kind of just unnecessary. Like,
Gotcha.
this way you would have 3 eyes. You don't need 3 eyes. You can have 2 and be fine, but this way you have 1 extra point there. So, yeah, the minimum you need is 2. So, let's see. What do I go over next? There are a couple of little interesting things that can happen. There are like some trick moves and stuff, and there's one extra rule that I haven't gone over. I usually wait until that actually happens during a game because it's like a really specific thing that doesn't always happen. But yeah, basically you would just keep playing moves. On your turn, you have the option to either play a move or pass, and the game ends when both players pass consecutively. So essentially, you just keep playing until both players say, okay, I don't think there are any moves left that will get me any points, so I'm just going to pass.
Yeah.
And once that happens, you go to scoring. So the way you score the game is you look at all the stones on the board, and you figure out which stones are alive and which stones are dead. If any stones are dead, you remove them from the board and treat them like prisoners. So I'm just going to kind of leave the middle here empty and just say we have this white group over here and this black group over here.
Do the borders count towards anything? Or do you have to place pieces along the edge?
Yeah, so I forgot to go over that. Let me do that real quick. So in the center, we said that you have 4 liberties, right? If you're on the edge, since there's no space on this side, you only have 3.
Okay.
So it's easier to capture a stone that's on the edge because you only have to play 3 stones. And it's even easier in the corner because you only have to play... Might have to move this a little bit. You only have to play 2. The sides and the edges also help you for surrounding territory. Like, in this case here, this is white territory, even though there's not a stone on this side, because it's on the edge.
Okay.
Yeah. So these 2 white groups here are the white group and the black group, rather. They both have 2 eyes, so they're both alive. This black stone, though, on the inside is dead because there's no way for it to make 2 eyes in there.
Yep.
So we would remove that from the board, and that would be 1 point, and then we would count. White will have 6. Black also has 6, but white also has a prisoner, so white would win by 1. And then we could just pretend that the rest of the board is filled up or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's basically it. And yeah, because the edges and the corners help you for surrounding territory like that, usually people will start out by playing moves on the edges and corners rather than in the center, since it takes more stones to surround territory in the center.
Okay.
That's a little bit more of a thing on the full-size board. The small board there's not as much room to begin with, so...
Gotcha.
Yeah, and the other thing that I'll say real quick is that because it's easier to capture stones if you place them on the side or the corner, you generally don't want to put them there unless you have to. So like a reason you would have to put them there would be Well, let's see. Usually it's towards the end of the game that you'll see that. Just a quick example, I guess. If you had this right here and black wanted to capture this white stone, he would have to play on the edge. But like if there are no stones anywhere, you don't just want to play a move on the edge because it's easier to capture and it doesn't have as much potential to surround territory. Whereas if you put it like up here, now you can go for some kind of, enclosure over on the side. Hopefully bigger than that, but yeah. So yeah, I think we're about ready here to jump into a game.
Okay, I think I understand the rules, but I feel like I'm totally flub on strategy.
Yeah. So
That's how it works.
yeah, that's kind of how it works. You just have to play a lot of games at the beginning to sort of get a feel for how things work. I'm going to start you off with a handicap of 5 stones, so you get to start with 5 stones on the board.
Oh, all right.
Uh, One thing I didn't mention was these little circles are called star
Yeah.
points. They don't actually do anything in the game, it's just a normal space like any other space. Um, the main purpose of them is that that's where you put the handicap stones. Uh,
Okay.
the other purpose, which is more of an issue on the large board, is without them it's kind of hard to tell where you are in relation to other things. So like,
Oh, I see.
yeah, on the largest, the standard size board, the large one, there are star points in all of the corners on the 4 points. So like this one here would be the 2 point because it's 2 spaces away from each edge. On the big board, it's the 4 points, and that's kind of good because then you can a lot of opening game strategies revolve around the 4 points, so it's easier to see where they are that way.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so normally black goes first, but since it's a handicap game, white is going to go first. So I will play my
Okay.
first move.
Okay. Hmm. I have to think about what to do about that.
Yeah, so again, the first couple games, things probably won't make too much sense.
Yeah.
It'll just be kind of figuring out what you're supposed to be doing.
I'll play and see where that leads me.
Yeah. I think I think
Suppose.
I think when you're just starting out, it's better to just kind of play and not think about it as
Yeah.
much. Okay.
Try.
Hmm. Let's try something fun. Oops. Okay.
What's that? Oh no.
Then I think I play. Which one do I play? Has to be there.
So, what's just curious? If you were to play here, right?
Yeah.
I like can't close off this space anymore, right?
Well, you could play here.
But I still have to connect. Oh, I see.
Yeah. Because even if I tried to like do something in here, you would just be able to do this.
I see. Okay. Whoa, that's interesting. All right. It's not letting me grab pieces right now.
Um.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, you just click
I was
and
lagging,
drag.
I think.
Yeah, it might have been lagging. Okay. Hmm.
I feel like I'm making like really terrible moves
Nah, it's fine.
sometimes. Also, yeah, I think I'm definitely lagging.
Okay. Okay. Let's go that way. Whoops. All right.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah. WHW says I know the feeling of oh. Let's go there. Yeah, so the
It's like a bad and a good feeling at the same time.
yeah, so these two white stones here are basically captured already, right?
Yeah. I
All
just have to place one
yeah,
here.
all you would need to do is play there, and doing that would kind of be a waste of a move since I can't really do anything with them anyway. Um,
Right.
so
I
essentially,
considered that.
yeah. So essentially,
Because I
I
can always
just
just do that at the very end of the game, right? So.
yeah. You don't need to do it immediately, and that's a big thing. Is like um, usually there will be more than one move that will get you points, so it'll be about figuring out which one will get you more points, right?
Right.
Um, so the smaller moves you want to just save for later, and you might
Yeah.
not even have to capture them at all because, like I said, at the end of the game, dead stones get removed as if you had captured them.
Yeah.
So you might be able to just leave them there.
But like these guys are dead now.
Probably, yeah. Sometimes there's something you can do in the corner, but in this case,
Unless I can like, I'm not. Yeah.
yeah, if you could connect out somewhere, then that's a big thing in Go. Is if you can keep your groups connected, that's really good because then they share
Yeah.
eyes. So
But if I go here, you're just gonna go there, and if I go there, you're just gonna go there. So like,
something
you're
like
gonna
that,
block
yeah,
me either way, probably.
yeah.
So I'm gonna try to do something else.
Yep.
Yes.
Hmm.
Oops.
So I can actually capture that by playing here.
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah. That's actually not really a big deal. Like you didn't technically lose much except for one captured stone.
Yeah, but I lost a turn too, right?
Yeah. Well, I had to play here, so now it's your turn again.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it would have been better to not do that, obviously, but it really only lost
Sure.
you. It really only lost you like 1 point, maybe.
I'm sure it wasn't the worst mistake I've made this game. But it
Yeah.
was still, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're actually doing pretty well for a new player. Let's see. That's interesting, actually. I better do something about that.
Nah.
Yeah, I have to play there. Good
I
lesson.
feel like this is a bad move, but I don't know why.
I mean, it's fine.
Okay.
Is Evan in the Twitch stream? No. He's... I don't think you have this stream open, do you?
I can open it.
Yeah, I mean...
Where'd you just go?
I'm still thinking.
Oh, okay.
Not sure why you would need to open it, but someone was just asking if you were...
Oh, if your chat's talking or something.
Yeah. Okay. What am I gonna do here?
Yeah, my ping's kind of bad already. I probably shouldn't.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Dog wanted to go see what was going on. Alright. Oh, she wants to come back in now. Alright. So,
We
let's
haven't heard
see.
my dog yet today.
Yeah. What am I gonna do here? Hello, Reckless Fury. That's an intense name. Alright,
I feel like I'm doing too many diagonals in general.
yeah, diagonal moves are usually good actually because I'll go over that a little bit after the game,
Okay,
but
sure. I'm talking to you.
Let me see. I think I don't know. I mean, either one is fine, honestly. I'll just go here. It's really the opposite of how you are. Trying to see if I can get Joe to. Joe was originally not going to go to Worlds, I think, but he was thinking about it.
He's told me like 5 times he's not going to Worlds.
Yeah.
Oh, this is complicated.
Yeah, a little bit. All right. What do I want to do now?
That would be super cool if you could go though.
Yeah, definitely. More crabs. We already have.
Well, not for that reason.
we we already have a pretty good amount of crabs going.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Most of the good crabs.
That was
Let's
super
see.
funny when you were talking about like, oh, the crab's already planning like spreading out days.
Yeah.
And Baron Fell was like, oh crap, we need to do that. And then you went into Phoenix chat and was like, guys.
Yeah. I don't know what they're barking at now. Let's see. What am I gonna do? I should probably just, like, I think I'm fine no matter what here. Like, I'm just trying to figure out what the best, like, the most points move is. Yeah. I think I'll just go there.
They're like gonna capture all my stuff.
Are you playing an AI? No, I'm playing against another person who is probably not an AI. You can never tell for sure, you know. So many traps I would get baited into. Yeah, so I'm actually teaching a new player how to play. This is his first game. That's basically what I've been doing. Like, this is the second Go stream. I'm part of a community. I think a lot of people in the chat right now are actually just Go players and they don't know about L5R. I think I'm like one of the only Go streams up right now, and one of the big Go streamers hosted me. I say big. Big in terms of being a Go streamer. Yeah, so
Sorry, I've been thinking for a while. Like you're kind of threatening taking like all this, right?
Kind of. I mean, you're probably fine.
Or
Because again, you still can.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah, because you
you
can't
can
play
still
there.
capture there
Okay.
whenever you want.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone in chat says, I've found that new players might benefit from announcing Atari until they get better at seeing it on their own. So he's talking about when a stone or a group of stones has only one move left before it's captured. So we could look at that right now. Currently, these stones that are in Atari are these two white stones,
Yep.
these black stones. I could capture them both by playing here.
Yep.
This black stone as well, I could capture by playing there. And that is it currently. I know some people like to do that where with new players they'll it kind of like in chess where you say check when the king is in
Right.
trouble. They'll say Atari when they play a move that puts an opponent's stones one move away from being captured. Personally, I don't really like to do that. If you want to do that, I'd be down. But
It's all good.
yeah,
Especially
um,
since like it's not like every single one of your pieces is a king.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
yeah, losing a stone or two is completely fine.
Like I can do nothing about this.
Yeah.
If I played here, they're just
Yeah,
gone,
at
right?
this point, those two stones can't be
This
saved
one I
really.
can stop though.
Yeah, you could connect
If
there.
I played there, but it doesn't actually gain me anything other than saving this one, which
Right.
might be worth it. I don't know.
Yeah, only if you can make this black group be alive somehow, basically.
Oh, that's right. I need to.
Yeah, because if it's not alive, then I just capture the whole thing eventually anyway.
But there's no way to make it alive because there's not enough. This thing's blocking that. Wait.
Yeah,
I
not.
guess I could.
Mm,
No.
there. Yeah, not really. There might be a way. Um,
I'm certain there's not a way without you being able to stop me. So.
yeah. Like I think I would have to make a mistake, and you would have to not
Yeah.
make a mistake.
I like don't see any good moves for me right now.
So, yeah, there's a potential
That's
for a co. That's true.
yeah.
So
Like
what?
game's sake.
What's that?
What's a go?
A co.
What
Uh,
go?
so that's the other rule that I haven't told you about yet. That I said
Oh, you don't have to tell me
I
yet
would
if you
talk
don't.
about when we got to it. Yeah. There's a
Okay.
potential for it here, but yeah, we don't
Right on.
necessarily need to talk about that yet. So at this point, the game is kind of reaching the end.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is kind of the
I'm just
point.
gonna play here.
Yeah. So this is kind of the point where a lot of new players kind of don't know what to do next.
Yeah. That's where I'm at.
So yeah,
Okay.
so generally at this stage of the game, what you want to do is you want to look towards the edges of the board because most of the stuff in the middle is already resolved. But for example, like on the edge here, this is still kind of open.
Mhm.
Whereas if you played a blackstone here, now you're completely surrounding this territory. So that's your territory now.
Okay.
You don't want to, yeah, you don't want to leave things open like that.
I
Um,
see.
even better than playing here though would be to play like here because
I was
now
thinking that.
if you play here as well, then this is an extra point.
Got it.
You could play here first also. That's fine also. And the other thing
But
that
then if you played there, then I would play here.
right. The other thing that does is it reduces the potential territory that I have. So you're kind of doing
Okay.
two things at once. You're expanding your own territory and reducing my territory. So that's usually what the end game comes down to. The biggest move for you currently would be to play here though, because if you play here, first of all, if you don't play here, I can play like here, and now I'm
Yeah.
poking into your territory more. If you play here though, you're putting these two stones in danger of being captured.
Oh,
So now I have to connect back here and defend myself.
yeah.
Because
Because I could, in theory,
you could capture by playing there.
even though it would be a suicide.
Right, because it captures. And this
Yeah.
is actually an interesting situation because if you did do that and you captured there, you would capture 2 white stones, and then I would actually be able to capture back. Because after that, yeah, you're left with 1 black stone that only has 1 liberty, so I could capture back. So it wouldn't
But
be
then I
that.
can play
Yeah,
from
you can
here
play
and try to
there,
do it
and
again.
then, yeah, do it again, basically.
But you can stop it. But yeah, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, that is the biggest move here. So you would play there, I would connect there to protect myself, and now you actually have to
Okay.
protect yourself as well. And this is
Yeah.
something, yeah, so if you don't protect yourself and I play here, now I'm about to capture this stone, right? And there's
Got it.
not really anything you can do about it. If you play there, I still capture it. If you try to run, you don't get anywhere, I still capture both of those. So to protect yourself, you could play
I
here.
could play. I could also play here
You
too.
could also play there, that's correct. Both of those moves would be... There's not really any reason in this situation to play one move over the other. But there might be some situations where it does make a difference.
Yeah. That makes sense. If there's more like going on over here.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends.
Or if these weren't all.
Yeah, so you would play one of those moves, and then the other thing that's left is this part down here. So I would probably play there now to poke,
and
then you
I
would
have to play
defend,
here.
and then I could just play there to get some extra
Yeah.
territory. There's still actually one move left. You can play here. It doesn't actually get you any points, but what it does, well, it does actually get you 1 point. So if you can't play Ko, don't play Go, yeah. So this white stone is actually in danger of being captured now. So I would have to either fill in here, or the better move would be to probably capture these 2 here. Just removes, yeah.
Cool.
So this stone that you played here, this is something that the Japanese term for it is dame. It's basically like no man's land, the space in between 2 opposing groups, because like no single player surrounds this space, so it's not anybody's territory, right? So filling it in it doesn't gain any points for anybody, and it doesn't lose any points for anybody either. Although in this case it does force me to play that move, so it's actually good for you. And then there's one more of those points here. So then you could play there as well. Again, that doesn't gain you any points, but you can do it. In the Japanese rule system, which is what we're using, where captured stones are 1 point and territory is 1 point, sometimes you'll actually see players just not play those points. They'll just leave them empty. If you're playing on a physical board, though, you usually will fill them in because it makes it a little bit easier to count, which is something I'll talk about in a second.
Right.
There are different scoring systems, like the Chinese rules are a little bit different. You actually don't get points for stones that you captured. You get points for all of your stones that are on the board still at the end of the game. Which ends up working out to be pretty much the same, because if you capture one of your opponent's stones, that's 1 less stone they have on the board, right? So it's still like a point. But in that rule system, it is actually, you do have to fill in those spaces, because that is 1 point each.
I see.
Yeah, so that would be the end of the game. So now we would count up the points. These 2 white stones are dead. Hey, Sandy Bell, how's it going? That is Shiba Inu, I think.
Yep.
Says for shame, not sure why.
Because those ones are dead because they're.
Yeah,
they're
these
captured by
I should have
these
probably
guys, right?
probably talked about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, so these ones are dead. It was like this, right? Yeah, so there's no way for these to make 2 eyes, really. You'd have to, like, connect here. It would take 3 moves, essentially. 4 moves.
Yeah.
If you did all of that, you would have 2.
Without you playing a move.
Yeah. But at any point, I could stop that. So yeah, those are dead, so we would remove those. And that's another thing that...
And the reason we're really stopping is because, like, I can't...
Right, so if you played a move anywhere inside of my territory...
giving you an extra point, really.
Right, it's just an extra prisoner. So You
Yeah.
wouldn't want to do that. If you played a move in your territory anywhere, you're filling in one of your own territory spaces, so you're
I
losing a
see.
point
Yeah.
as well. So that's one way kind of to know that the game is over is when there are no moves
Yeah.
left on the board that would gain you any points.
But I would technically have to play one here and here before the real end, right?
No.
Or no.
This is all your territory here because it's surrounded on all sides by black
Oh,
stones.
I see.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't have to. The edges kind of help you surround territory, so you don't have to worry about that.
And you wouldn't want to stop it by playing here because I'd play here.
Yeah, well, I actually had these two stones here, but they were dead,
I see. Right,
Yeah.
right.
so they got removed.
You already had played there. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, so like if I played over here or something, you would actually just not
Yeah.
respond to that because it's not threatening
It just
to.
goes away by the end of the.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not threatening to do anything. If it is threatening to do something, like I could actually play here for a net gain of 0 points. If you don't do anything, then I capture, so you have to play here. So you got an extra prisoner, and you also filled in 1 point of territory, so neither of us gained or lost anything, but
Yeah.
there's not really any point to do that.
Yeah.
So these stones are dead as well.
So it looks like I got like this much of the board.
Yeah,
You got that much.
yeah, so a little bit more.
And more pieces.
And more
yeah.
captures, yeah. So yeah, so now we would count it. So we would just count up all the empty spaces plus the prisoners. I'm going to show you a neat trick you can do when you're playing on an actual board like this to make the counting a little bit easier. The online servers, they'll just count it automatically for you so you don't have to. But what we do on the real board is if I take this stone and move it here, I gave myself an extra point here and lost a point here, right? So it's just neutral.
Yeah.
It's still the same amount of points. So we can essentially just
So
move.
it's more like a grid.
Yeah, as long as we keep the stones in our own territory, we can just move them around. And this way,
So I'd like move mine like.
yeah, now it's
so I
just
can.
some easy multiplication, 9 times 3.
Yeah.
And you can also fill in your spaces with the enemy prisoners because again, those are 1 point for your opponent, and you're filling in 1 point of your own territory, so it's a wash.
Mm.
So
So I'd fill in my.
yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, but that would take a while because you capture a lot of my pieces.
Yeah. You actually, if we do that, you actually do have some space left though, which is actually a little bit unusual for someone playing their first game. So
Well, it makes me feel good.
yeah. Yeah, so you have 5 points. I would have 25. Yeah, 25. So win by 20.
Cool.
So yeah, like I said, pretty decent first game. Yeah. There's a lot of variation I've found because I've taught a lot of people how to play, and played 1 or 2 games with them. You are definitely on like the higher end of first time players.
It's probably only because I like play chess a lot
Yeah,
or
that's,
something. I don't know.
yeah, something. I mean, it seems like you're pretty good at games in general. So
Maybe.
hey, Tristram Wolf is actually finally here. Very good.
Maybe luck transfers to this game too, right? This seems like a total luck game.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
No, not really.
Probably not.
Yeah, I had a friend who liked to say that, there's definitely luck in Go. Like, if your opponent's having a bad day, then you get lucky
Well,
and you
there's
win.
luck in every.
Yeah, there's
Absolutely.
technically luck in everything, but
There's luck in life,
yeah,
all of it, but probably less than in L5R, I would say.
yeah, definitely.
Because
Yeah,
all that bad day stuff transfers over there too.
yeah, that's true.
The dimension shuffling part.
Yeah, so
That's really cool though.
if you want to keep going, I could play another game against you, or we could also get Tristram Wolf on here, and he could play a game with you.
Sure, I'd love to play one more at least.
Yeah,
to
sure.
solidify some of that.
Yeah, let's
Because I-
see. let's see if
I think if I
Tristram
end
Wolf.
there, I'm gonna forget a lot of it if I don't play for like a week or
Yeah.
something.
Um,
Thank you for showing me, by the way. This is really cool.
yeah, no problem.
I actually, it was so funny. I looked over at my my board game stuff and like, I own a Ghost set,
Oh, you do?
and I've never. Well, I basically inherited it, but I've never like
Hmm,
played. Never even learned like yeah. So
that's cool.
I've always wanted to like one of. Do you know Chris Hecker? He was making Spy Party. He worked on Hive.
Uh, no, that doesn't ring a bell.
Well, he basically said that Go was like the best designed game, and he was like, if like hyper intelligent species of aliens like came down, and
Oh,
you're like,
yeah. I
they're like, let's show them what we have, and they like showed them Go, they'd be like, oh yeah, we have
Oh, he
that.
worked on Spore?
It's four, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's actually a quote from a Grandmaster chess player. I forget what
Oh
his name
really?
was, but yeah, a Grandmaster chess player once said that the rules of Go are like so simple and so elegant that if intelligent life exists somewhere in the universe, then they most likely play Go.
Oh nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think he was quoting him, but yeah,
Yeah, it's
he's also a
definitely a
good
really cool
player, and
game.
I'm like, I like it a lot so
Mm.
far. I mean, I only played the one, but.
Yeah, so you can go ahead and play against Tristram Wolf here. Hello, he is
Hey,
pretty good
Tristram.
as well. So we'll probably do 5 stones again, I think. See how it goes. Um, but yeah, assuming
Okay,
Tristram
I'll
Wolf
do my
is okay with
best.
that. Yeah, Go is a really old game though, as you might know, and part of that is, it has a lot of cool tradition and 5 stones is fine, okay. There are a lot of like proverbs about Go. What would be interesting, Reckless Fury says, what would be interesting is a 9 by 9 by 9 Go in 3 dimensions. Yeah, I've thought about that before. I feel like it would be so hard visually to actually do that. Because, like, if a stone got completely surrounded, you wouldn't be able to see it, right? Like, technically, I feel like you would have to be like a fourth dimensional being to actually play that. Because otherwise, unless you're like a computer and you can just have all the spaces in your memory, then it would be fine. But like if you completely you could just like completely surround big areas and then no one would be able to see what was going on inside that, or an AI, yeah. But yeah,
I like really can't think about 3D Go without kind of too much
yeah,
brain power.
yeah. Yeah, there are some interesting like variants people play with like weirdly shaped boards or like hexagonal instead of square, stuff like that. Um,
Talking about doing too many diagonals, and I'm doing like.
yeah, you could definitely write a program that did that, but like for a human, I don't know, it would just be too hard, I think. Would a 3D B2 bomber be a pyramid? I guess. That's a Go joke. I think what you'd have to do to play it as a human would be you would have to have you would have to have like a program to play it on where you could like cycle through each layer, so you only see one layer at a time, essentially. And maybe have all the other layers like have some kind of opacity, so you could still kind of see them. That might work, but it would still be like incredibly confusing.
Oh.
Oh, just
Yeah.
a game in slices. Yeah, okay. But yeah, what I was gonna say a minute ago, but got distracted, was one of the sayings in Go is if you want to get good at Go, you should first learn the rules and then lose your first 100 games as fast as possible. Yeah, and basically the idea is like you're gonna lose a lot for a while because you're still figuring out how it works, but after you lose enough games, you'll finally figure it out. The same holds true for L5R, yeah.
I mean, it's like true of like anything,
Yeah, pretty much.
you know,
Yeah,
any game I've ever played.
yeah.
Uh, oh man, okay.
That's
That
yeah.
last move just like totally threw me off.
That's that's
Like,
definitely
I think I thought I knew what was going on, and now I don't.
the cool thing about Go is that it's like deceptively simple. Um,
Yeah.
like it seems really the rules seem pretty simple. You know, you're just placing stones and trying to surround stuff. But then when you actually play the game, you realize that it's like really really complicated, and there are like so many layers of depth to it. Um, Definitely an interesting game. I'll be right back. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Totally went to see a fiction. Welcome back, thanks. Totally went to see a fiction where two Go rivals are forced to get into a sword fight and either wants to kill the other because it would rob them from all the beautiful. Yeah, so that's one thing WHW was talking about is it would potentially be pretty cool to incorporate Go into an L5R RPG campaign.
That would be cool.
Yeah. And if you actually want some inspiration for that, there's a ton of really cool history behind Go. I would definitely look into it and read some of the stories. There are a lot of like famous games that you could look at. One of the funny ones was there was actually a professional Go game happening during World War II, and it was happening just outside of I think Hiroshima, which got was one of the cities that got bombed. And when the bomb went off during the game, yeah, the atomic bomb game, the bomb went off and it shook the building and knocked over the Go board and all the stones, and then everyone just kind of got back up and put them all back and started playing again.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh no. I know from chess, like as soon as if you make a move and someone makes a move really fast, I get really nervous.
Yeah. I mean, once you're like once you have a lot of experience with the game, there are certain moves that are just like there's no other move there, so you just play it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, professional Go players are expected to uh wrong one. Professional Go players would be expected to be able to replay an entire game from memory.
Hmm.
And in fact, that particular game, that particular game, the atomic bomb game, it was actually a game that had lasted multiple days, so they had like just finished replaying it to the current point from the previous day when that happened. So then they just had to do that again, basically. But yeah. Um, what some people do actually even is they play blindfolded Go, which is like pretty insane. But professional Go players just basically spend their whole lives playing Go, so they're like
Yeah.
superhumans basically. Like I can pretty much play a game from memory on this size board, the 9x9, but on the full size board it's just way too hard. There are usually like 200 moves or something. Another thing you can do is sometimes they'll play a game of Go where both players use the same color and they have to remember which stones are actually their opponent's stones.
Hmm.
It's kind of funny.
That's crazy.
It's kind of like how people try to like beat Dark Souls with a Guitar Hero controller, I guess.
Yeah, totally. That's crazy.
Pyman's Tristram Wolf, how strong are you guys? Yeah, one color Go. Like I was saying earlier, I am kind of out of practice. But back when I played, I was like 2Q at my highest. Nowadays, I would probably, if I were to play a game like right now, I would probably be like 4Q at the best, but I think I could get back up there. Tristram Wolf says, yeah, roughly 10 to 11Q, but yeah, so we're both, we have experience at least.
What's cute?
Oh yeah, so let me explain the ranking system real quick for people who are not familiar with it. So the ranking system for Go is, I haven't actually been paying attention to the game here. Looks interesting. So the ranking system is, I believe it's actually like basically the same as they use for like martial arts, where you'd have like you have different ranks up until you get to black belts, and then you have like different degrees of black belt after that. So the way it works is, if you're an amateur Go player, you basically start at 30Q, and that's whoops, that's Q as in KYU, like the Japanese character, not the English letter. So you start at 30Q. That's the lowest, technically lowest possible ranking. And then as you get better, your ranking goes down all the way until you get to 1Q. And then after 1Q, once you rank up again, you go to 1 Dan. The first Dan ranking is called Shodan, and then after that it's just like 2 Dan, 3 Dan, 4 Dan, etc. And you can go all the way up to 9. So it goes 30 to 1Q, and then 1 to 9 Dan. So once you get to the Dan rankings, that's sort of like you're a black belt now. And then you just get better from there. So like second degree black belt, etc. Those are all just amateur rankings though. If you're a professional, when you officially become a professional player, you're officially awarded the rank of professional 1 Dan. So it's still 1 Dan, but it's professional instead of amateur, so it's technically not the same thing. And then as you like play in official tournaments and stuff, you rank up until you get up to 9 Dan. And 9 Dan professional is the highest possible rank. One thing that's kind of cool is that even after you retire, you retain the rank you had as sort of an honorary thing. But yeah, that is how the ranking system works.
So if I go here, Tristan Wolf can go here and take my piece. Then I can go here and take his piece back.
Ooh,
And
yeah. So
then
okay, so this
is
is
that
that's the rule that I didn't talk about. So let yeah. So let me talk about that real quick. The dogs are barking at somebody, but so if you were to go here, let me go.
yeah.
Hold on. So if you were to go there, Tristram Wolf could capture your piece by playing there.
Right.
But now we're sort of in a position where you can now capture his piece, right, by playing there.
Right.
So
And then
we
you
could
could
kind of,
go back and forth.
yeah, it could kind of get stuck in an infinite loop there because you really want to keep going so that you can capture this, and he wants to keep going so that you cannot do that.
Right.
All right, sorry about that. So, so yeah, to prevent the players getting stuck in an infinite loop, they created a rule called the co-rule. Um, and what the rule says is essentially you're not allowed to repeat the same board position twice, with the same player having the next move. So if you captured here and then if he captured there and then you captured back, the board is now in the same position again, and it's still Tristram Wolf's turn. So if he captures here, playing here is now an illegal play. So that's the third type of illegal move. So what you would have to
Wait,
do.
so
Hmm?
okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
so essentially, if there's one of these co-situations, you just can't capture back right away. What you have to do then is you have to play somewhere else on the board. Like, let's just say you play there. And now, if he plays somewhere else as well, now since the board is in a different state because of those two stones, now you can capture back. And then he can't capture back immediately because that would put it back in the same position again.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. So
Cool.
so that.
Something will progress.
Yeah, exactly. So that can create something called a co-fight, where if both players really want to be the player who wins this, they'll play a co-threat. And a co-threat is where you play somewhere else and you play specifically a move that forces your opponent to respond to it, or else they lose something. So let's just pretend there was a co-threat up there, and then they play back, and now white needs to find a co-threat. Or else you can win the co by either filling this in or capturing that stone.
Cool.
So yeah, this was the board position
Yeah.
back. Oh yeah, those weren't there.
Okay. So I'll try it.
Of course. Oh hey, Colossius is here. Welcome to the stream. Of course, in this situation, Tristram Wolf does not actually have to start the co. He can just fill in one of these spaces. Deleted an extra stone for black. Oh, there was a stone there. Oh, for white, I think. It was that, right? Yeah, that was it. So to answer your question, this program is Tabletop Simulator. It's a cool program on Steam that lets you play board games with friends. It comes with all of these pre-installed. You know, Chinese checkers, Go, etc., chess. And you can also download mods on the Steam Workshop to play pretty much any board game you want. Yeah. So essentially, it's like you're actually sitting at a table playing Go against somebody or whatever game. None of the rules are coded into the program. Yeah, it's pretty cheap actually. If you like playing board games, I would definitely recommend checking it out. But yeah, none of the rules for the game are coded in, so you have to know the rules yourself. But it is kind of nice to be able to, actually move around and manipulate everything. There are a lot of different
so I'm
features.
not allowed to go here right now.
Right.
And if I go here, I'm basically forcing him to go there, which is good for me technically, right? Because it stops him from a point.
Yeah, so that would work actually. If you do go there, the Blackstone you just placed will only have one liberty, so he can capture it.
Oh, right.
But it is technically a co-threat. He can either capture that or fill in the co.
Yeah.
So you could
Okay.
do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's talking in the background? I think that might be Evan, one of the players who's currently playing.
Captured my first piece.
What's that?
I captured.
Oh,
the piece.
yeah.
Dealer.
Yeah, so
Also, hello. Hello, Twitch chat.
yeah, I'll go ahead and mute my in-game chat so I can just explain what's happening. He sounds just like you, really. So, yeah, so what's happening currently is I'm just watching a game here between the orange player here is completely new. Oh, it was your voice? Well, anyway, I'll keep explaining. So the orange player is completely new. This is his second game here. I just taught him how to play not too long ago on stream. And then I think you know Tristram Wolf here. Yeah. So I'm just watching the game currently. Bigger co, yeah. So what we have here now is, well, a bigger co, like he said. So wait, where was the last move? Was it here? Yeah. Yeah, so if you want to end the co now, well, I don't know if I want to give anything away, but there are a couple different things you could do now. Do you want me to give you a hint?
I Hold on, let me think for a minute.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these three around a dude situation going on. Three around a stone, I should say. I feel like going here is interesting.
Maybe.
I think it's interesting right now. Oh, but then he can take that, and then I'm not threatening that anymore.
Yeah.
I see. I got there.
Should play my capture GoBot until he learns liberties. Yeah, if you want, I can link you. There's a guy in chat currently who's a pretty good Go player and also sometimes does streams and likes to teach people how to play. And he has a bot that he made specifically for beginners. I could get you a link to that if you want.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. So I'm thinking here now.
Yeah, that seems good.
Try it. Yeah, that sounds really helpful.
Oh, 2 S's. See if I can find it here. Website. Probably on his website, right? Yeah, so yeah, it is on the website. I think I just found it. I was looking for the capture bot, but I think I just found it on your website. Um, yeah, so oh, wow, it has sound. Okay, I'll just grab that link. Yeah, so to explain a little bit more, did Black just play somewhere? Or is it Black's
No,
turn? It's Black's turn?
my turn.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he just went there. Also, how do you make those? Is it middle click? Oh no, it's left.
It's tab.
Okay.
You just click it. Yeah.
Cool. I want to point over there. Okay.
Yeah, so uh-oh. Dog's barking again. So to explain a little bit more about what's going on with this stream, so I'm a member of an online community as well as these other two players in here for a card game called Legend of the Five Rings, which is, yeah, Dog wants to play Go. It's a card game that's like based on like Japanese mythology, or not mythology, but like fantasy Japan stuff. So you got like samurai and stuff like that. There are a few cards in Legend of the Five Rings that feature Go on them. I can pull one up here. So what I've been trying to do recently, since I really like Go, and I also really like this card game, is I've been trying to start a Go community for Legend of the Five Rings players. No, not Ide Tadaji. The other one I was going to do was Ikoma Prodigy. That's a good one. There she is playing Go.
Uona's the best one.
She's not playing Go, though.
She's flipping the pieces.
Wait, is she?
Yeah.
Hold on. Did I miss that?
Yeah, she's like.
Oh, those are...
Pieces.
Oh, are those Go pieces?
I thought so.
I thought they were like petals or something.
I'm gonna have to look at the card again.
Yeah.
I thought she was. I thought it was Go. I think that's why they gave her military skill, because she's like a military strategist or something.
Maybe. Ikoma Prodigy is just political, though.
I mean, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Without a.
Yeah, and then the last one is Ide Tadaji. There he is playing some Go. And then there is actually technically one other one that doesn't have it in the art, but Doji Hotaru references the Ko rule in her flavor text. Yeah, so I was talking about this card game that I play. This is really a Go stream, don't worry. This card game that I play called Legend of the Five Rings, and I'm trying to get some of the players of that game interested in Go as well. So that's who these two players are in here. They're both Legend of the Five Rings players. One of them already knew how to play Go. The other one I just taught how to play today. Yeah, so we have a Discord server. It's a pretty cool community. A lot of great people on there. But yeah, this is my second stream, streaming Go. Yeah, that's... and I've taught, like... If you guys stay active, I'd be happy to teach your group. Yeah, that'd definitely be really cool if you want to join us sometime and maybe do some lectures or something. I think Tristram Wolf and myself are the only Go players in the L5R community who are not like new. But yeah, that would be really cool if you want to. Yeah, we're still trying to get them to create like a dedicated Go channel on the server or something.
Yeah, I just play it too.
Yeah, we know that there are other Discord servers for Go, but yeah, if you want to join ours, I can actually grab you a link real quick right here. Can't get past 7K, yeah. Yeah, so there is the link for the Legend of the Five Rings server. Pretty good server. A lot of nice people in there. And if you're interested at all in the card game as well, I don't know if you would be or not, but if you like, Fantasy Japan, like Samurai and stuff at all, you might be interested in it. We'd be happy to show you some of that. It's a very story-based game, so there's a lot of like lore that you can read about it, even if you don't really want to play the card game that much. I still need to catch up on the lore. Are you guys both caught up?
No, not at all.
Not at
I read
all.
all the Phoenix lore.
Yeah, some good lore recently. Yeah, I really need to catch up on it. I don't know why I haven't.
I need like a link to like all of them in order. I feel like. 'Cause
Oh,
I keep
well,
reading like. Yeah, one. Cool.
I can grab you one, yeah.
That would be sweet.
Just gotta find it here. I read all the core set lore. Careful with this next move, by the way. I read all the core set lore, and I read most of the first cycle lore, but then I still have like the last two from the first cycle. Let's see, where's that link?
Gosh, I thought this next move was important. Now I know it is, but I don't know exactly why.
Actually, it probably doesn't matter anyway, does it?
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
do you see it?
he has like he can close off all these guys, right?
Yeah, so that black group there only has one liberty currently. So he can capture it with one more move.
I think I need to start thinking of it in terms of the way you just said it, right? This
Yeah.
black group has a ton of liberty.
Yeah,
This
that
black group
is
has
plenty.
One liberty.
That one only has
Like,
one.
I keep just thinking. I keep looking at the open spaces. I think I should look at like my pieces and how many connecting things there are.
Yeah.
I can't stop them from going there other than placing my piece there. Then now I have 2 liberty.
Yeah, so it probably won't matter anyway in this case.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So even if you had played here, though, isn't counting liberties part of the Colossi approach? I'm not sure. So even if you had played here, it looks like you have 2 eyes now, right? But what white was setting up for over here was playing here. And what this does now is it makes this black group here only have 1 liberty. So you either have to fill it in or you get captured. But if you fill it in, now you only have 1 eye. So no matter what,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, no matter what, you were going to get captured there.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah, counting liberties is definitely pretty important.
So, I should go like here, right?
Yeah, that would be a good move.
At this point. Oh, that got me good. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't think of... Oh, this is crazy. Like...
Colossia says this whole approach. Yeah, I'll definitely link you, Evan, to his website. Yeah, it looks like he has... I haven't actually been to his website before. I think I've watched his stream a couple times, but it looks like he has a lot of great stuff on there.
Wait, where did she just go? Okay. Okay. No, I don't want to go there.
Yeah, if you went there, he could just capture you, right? Oh.
I can go here. I think. Does that accomplish anything?
Mm. So if you go there, maybe we should count liberties again, right?
Oh, this black piece has two. And
Yes.
It goes
So
here.
before that stone, you have two.
Right.
After that
see.
stone, you only have one.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't want to only have
That's
one.
that's a terrible move.
Yeah, not ideal. Yeah, so there's a How to Play Go tab on the website.
So yeah, I am kind of forced to go here then, right?
I mean, you don't have to immediately, but you do eventually want to do that, yeah.
Okay. I'll go there. But
It's Sente at least. Yeah, it is actually. I shouldn't have said that out loud. I mean, he probably wouldn't have. He wouldn't have seen it anyway. But
seen what?
nothing. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Yeah. Gotta find that link for the fiction still. No, I have it somewhere. Maybe you can show it to him. Do you want me to show you the move that we were talking about?
Me? What?
Yeah, it's kind of a neat move if you want to see it real quick.
Sure.
Alright, so if white didn't respond to that, right, what black can do now is you can play this move. And this move is called a throw-in. And it's called that because essentially you're throwing your stone into a spot where it's going to be captured immediately. But that's actually what you want in this case. Don't teach throw-ins so soon. Yeah, don't actually learn that yet, but that's, yeah. So after that, black can play here. And what this does is, yeah, don't try this too soon, but what this does is it reduces this white group to 1 liberty here, so you can capture it in 1 move. But if white connects here, his group still actually only has 1 liberty, so you can still capture him. So that's kind of a tricky play there. Playing here does not work, because then he just connects. And now if you play there, he connects again. So yeah. So white does have to connect there. But yeah, that's one of those things I was talking about. There are a lot of like little kind of trick moves like that you learn as you get more experience.
That's really cool.
Interesting.
I had no idea.
You want to do it?
Do this move?
No, I'm referring to Tristram
something
Wolf.
Oh.
Seeing if he wants to do this. I mean, what do you have to lose, right? So this is actually a ko again. It looks a little bit different because it's in the corner, but it is still a ko, so you are not allowed to capture back immediately. What's
I
that?
see. So
Yeah.
then he can place here to stop it on the next move,
Well,
right? After I
he
place somewhere
actually
else.
can't do that because he technically could, but if he did do that, then these 3 white stones would go down to 1 liberty here.
Oh, I
So
see.
you would be able to
Yep.
capture them. So he would have to play
I
here
see.
first, and then he could play
I
there.
see.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So playing this black move here, whoops, lost that piece.
Did you take it from his?
Yeah, I'll put it back.
Okay.
Playing this black move here is kind of inviting the Ko to start. You could have just played here instead.
Yeah.
Neither one of those is necessarily good or bad. You have to sort of look at the rest of the board to decide that.
Right.
The way you would know is you would probably want the Ko to start if you have more Ko threats. This is a small one. It's only really worth the 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see you later, Colossius. Thank you for stopping by the stream. And yeah, you'll probably see us around some more. And yeah, he is on the L5R Discord now, so that is pretty cool. Yeah, Joe is saying there's a chance he makes it to Worlds, but not a good one.
Well, it's better than before.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you probably saw the link to the website in chat. I'll go ahead and link it again in Off Topic, in case anyone else wants to check it out. What was I going to say?
So, I can like play this over here just so I can
Yeah.
play my Ko later, right?
Yeah, although it's not a Ko threat because he doesn't have to respond to it immediately, so he'll probably just
Yeah.
end the Ko.
He'll probably just fill it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could go, but
No, that's
no, that's
an
just giving him a point.
yeah, that's an illegal move.
Oh, that's a legal move. Huh.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
There is exactly
Oh, I can like.
Yeah, I think there's exactly 1 move on the board that's actually a Ko threat. And you are possibly hovering over it. Yep. There it is. Yep, so now you can capture the Ko again.
Well,
I feel like I was saying something.
something about Joe.
Oh yeah, I was saying Joe. Someone else was saying that he would buy Joe a side of fries if he made it, and then if all of us did that, that's like 4 sides of fries.
Buy him a side of fries.
I'll tell him. That's 5. Yeah, some people were saying he should start a GoFundMe on the, or he should start a GoFundMe and like post a link, since he's like probably the most well-known crab player.
You just started Joe Fund Me.
Yeah. Alright, so Tristram Wolf is going to pass.
I don't see anything. The only thing I could.
So you should technically still fill this in, since otherwise this stone only has 1 liberty. Does White even care about this Ko? No. is the answer to that. Because if you don't fill this,
I'm having a hard. Yeah, go ahead.
if you don't fill this
explain it to
in,
me.
then technically White could capture this back at some point. Like the Ko would keep going. He would have to play somewhere else first, like here. would be
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, I would just fill this space in.
Just so no one. Because if he took there, then I'd take him back. Oh, I see. I understand. Okay, got it.
Yeah, he should have played a, well, yeah, a Dame point. Yeah. Again, we're doing Japanese rules, so it technically doesn't matter, but yeah, so now there's only one space left on the board, which is one of those spaces. It's this corner over here, where it's not anybody's territory because there's a different color on each side.
I see.
So you can go ahead and play there. And now he has to play there because this white group only had one liberty left.
Yep.
And now you would probably pass.
Yep. I pass.
Yep. So that is going to be the game. Yeah, so I think we can agree that those stones are dead, as well as that one there. Probably.
Yep. He doesn't have any dead stones on
the board, yeah.
My one little area here.
Yeah. Yeah, so we don't need to actually count that unless you really want to, but
Ah, it's all good.
yeah, good game.
Yeah. You can definitely fill mine plus.
Yeah.
Good game. That was fun.
Yeah, so
I can't, like, at the beginning of the game, I was like, man, this handicap, like, this is fine.
yeah. It's kind of the opposite. Ooh, nice. It's kind of the opposite for me because when I give people handicaps, I'm always like, oh no, look at their handicap, I'm going to lose. But then by the end of the game, you know, all of their stones are dead, and it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, I linked Colassius's website in Off Topic. I'll go ahead and send it directly to Evan, because why not? It looks like there's some pretty good stuff on there. There's a How to Play Go tab that has some videos. If you go to the tab that says Capture Go, there's a little program that he's built that you can play Capture Go against. What Capture Go is it's essentially just Go, but instead of the game ending the normal way, the game ends when the first player captures a stone, and whoever captures the first stone wins. So instead of focusing on like trying to surround territory and get more points, you're just focusing on capturing a stone. Yeah, he's definitely a really good teacher. I don't think I know him particularly well. I have seen a couple of his streams before, but I do know that he's like one of the most popular teachers for newer players. So yeah, definitely check that out.
Sweet.
And I'll find the link to the fiction at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's probably pinned in like the story.
Yeah, I think it is pinned in there.
Which like I never go in there, so because I'm not caught up, so.
But yeah, so if anyone wants to play one more quick game, I could probably be down for that. Or we could just end the stream here if you guys are good. What do you think?
I should probably get back to work.
Yeah.
But I'd love to play again, like, sometime.
Yeah, and
after checking out that stuff.
Yeah, we can always play later.
Sweet.
And then eventually, ideally, you move up to the 13 by 13, and then later the 19 by 19, and the game gets a lot more interesting.
Oh gosh, that sounds so intimidating.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, if you ever want to play, you can just tag me or Tristram Wolf on the Discord.
Sweet.
Yep.
That's good.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The game really gets fun on the big board. I'll try to keep doing a stream like once a week. But if you guys want to play more often than that, I'm definitely down.
Sweet.
Yeah, I would personally, I would say get to the big board as soon as possible. Um,
Okay.
but I don't know. Some people really like the small board and they just want to stay on that for a long time.
I'm used to my 8x8 chessboard.
Yeah. Yeah, so technically this Go board is an 8x8 if you look at the spaces instead of the intersections.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so you could actually use a chessboard as a 9x9 Go board.
Well, that's interesting because Shogi's 9x9, right?
I'm not
That's actual
sure.
spaces.
I've never
Sure
played
it is.
shogi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is 9x9. Yeah, it's always you always want to have an odd number side length on a Go board. Yeah, 9x9 is a fight, 19x19 is a
Then
war.
there's a center, right?
Yeah, yeah, it just things get kind of weird if you have an even number side length. You can do it, but it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no center, stuff like that. Um, yeah, you can flick stuff around on here. I remember one time, this one guy I know that was he went to our local Go club. He was part of this online Go program that was run by a professional Go player from Korea who would do like basically all of the players in the program played each other, and then the teacher people would like go over games sometimes and stuff like that and help them out. He heard from his teacher that one thing they would do back in Korea when they were like at their Go school to pass the time is they would play Go, but instead of placing the stone on the board, you had to like toss it from just where you're sitting, and wherever it landed was where you played it. Yeah, in song. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but yeah, I think that is actually who it is. Or is that the school? I'm not sure. I can't remember. Um, but yeah, so they got like really good at throwing it exactly where they wanted it to land.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
That reminds me of this game called Clout. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No, I don't
They
think I have.
they produced like poker chips with like pictures of stuff on it.
Yeah, yeah, that is
And
the
they
school.
worked like trading cards. Like you would buy a pack and you'd get like these little poker chips and you'd like throw them
Hmm.
as part of the game.
Yeah, interesting.
It's like a card game except you throw chips and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah. But yeah, goes pretty fun. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you for teaching me. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Yeah, it would be really cool if we could. I don't know how many people we could get interested, but like if we got enough people on the L5R server to play, we could do maybe like a Go tournament where everyone represented a different clan, see which clan wins.
Would be really cool. I'll represent Crab.
Well, I mean, if I
Because I'm
play,
gonna lose.
if it's even games and I play, then yeah, it would be Crab. But I don't think I would be able to play. I think we would have to just do beginners. But yeah, if we
Alright,
could
then
get
then I'll represent Phoenix.
yeah, if we could get
Otherwise, I don't want to.
if we could get some kind of L5R Go League, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely beginners or handicap games, because I've been playing for like, what, 9 years?
And even the handicap games, like you guys, I
Yeah,
was so impressed. I mean, obviously, it's my first game versus your whatever.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I've played
So-
I've played my share of games.
yeah.
I definitely could be a lot better in the amount of time that I've played, but it's kind of been like an on and off thing for me. Yeah, handicap on the small board is kind of weird as well.
Interesting. I feel like the big board would be harder.
What do you mean?
Like, it would be harder to figure out on the big board. It would be easier to figure out on the smaller board because there's less spaces to think of, right?
Well, for the handicap, that's
Sorry.
actually not really true. So, um, since the big board has let's see here. People have been playing on the 19 by 19 board for a very long time, a lot more than the
Yeah.
smaller board sizes. So, one thing that they've pretty much figured out is that each rank you are above or below your opponent corresponds to one handicap stone. So, if my opponent is exactly 2 ranks higher than me, then I would give them 2 stones.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a pretty easy way to do things because if you play online enough, you eventually have a pretty good idea of what your ranking is. So you can go to just like any Go club basically and be like, oh, I'm this rank and I'm this rank, and then you know exactly what the handicap should be.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, you don't go above 9 because then it just starts to get kind of silly. But yeah,
Gotcha. There's actually more spaces where you would put the handicap stones. But,
yeah. Again, like I said, you do the star points. Yeah, after 9 stones, you could just do reverse Komi. So, Komi, I can explain that real quick. Komi is something they added. So, since black goes first, as you might expect, black had a slight advantage in the past. So what they did to combat that was they said, okay, at the end of the game, we're just going to add some points to white's score to make up for going second, kind of like in L5R, they give second player a fate. It's
totally fair, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And you'll see a similar thing happen. People ended up finding out that the amount of points they gave was too much. Um, yeah. So they gave white 6.5 points. It depends on some rule sets. Some of it's like 7.5. The half point is because there's no way to naturally get half a point in Go. So by giving white an extra half point, you prevent any ties.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
basically you're just saying white wins ties, and then you also
Yeah.
get those 6 points. But yeah, they ended up finding out that that was a little bit too much. So now white actually kind of has the advantage. Um, so yeah,
Interesting. Well,
yeah.
that's a point where you can't balance it any further, right? Unless you were to really change all the rules.
Yeah, I mean, so ideally what you would do is you would have both players play a perfect game of Go and then see how many points black won by since black goes first, and that would be the
Yeah.
Komi. Uh,
Yeah.
but we don't know what a perfect game of Go would look like because the number of
Right.
possible games is like a really huge number. It's like 10 to the
Yeah.
300 or something. Um, so yeah, there's no way to really know what the correct Komi is.
Yeah.
But yeah. They recently calculated the number of possible Go games. I don't think it was that recently, but yeah, it is some huge number. Like, it's like 100 orders of magnitude greater than the number of particles in the known universe.
Yeah.
That's on the full-size board, of course.
I mean, I believe it because they've said
Yeah.
that like a deck of normal cards, uh, the number of combinations it could be in is like if you were to
Yeah,
shuffle the deck from
isn't
the
it?
start of time till now, you wouldn't have
It's
even
it's
hit every
just
single
it's
one
just
of
a
them.
factorial, right? Like 52
Yeah,
factorial. Yeah,
exactly.
and
More
factorials get
than
pretty
that.
big pretty fast.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, yeah, there's some math that went into it. Were you here the other day when I was talking about AlphaGo, or have you heard about that?
No.
So that was a pretty interesting thing that happened just a couple years ago. Previous to this event, there had never been a computer program that could beat a professional Go player of pretty much any level because the game is just so complicated.
I heard that they had like a competition and like to create an algorithm, right?
So what
For Go.
actually, I'm not sure, but what actually ended up happening was Google bought this team based in London called DeepMind, and what they were working on doing was making basically just basically they're just trying to work towards a general artificial intelligence. So what they were doing to start out was making a program that could learn how to play games. So they started out with something simple like they did Breakout, the game with the ball that you.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
eventually they thought, okay, let's try to figure out Go because it's never really been done before. Like there were Go playing AIs, but all of them were like weak amateur level at best. So they wanted to do that, and they actually were successful. And again, this just happened like 3 years ago, I think. I still remember going to the Go Club and my local Go Club, and like everyone was talking about the games that this AI was playing. It challenged one of the top professional players in the world to a 5 game match, and it won 4 out of 5, which was
oh wow,
pretty crazy. Before the match started, everyone was saying that the human player would win all 5 easily, so
yeah.
it was really unexpected. And there's actually a cool documentary about that on Netflix.
Oh
If
sweet.
yeah, if you guys have Netflix, I definitely recommend watching that if you're interested. Oh, whoops, that's gonna come through. If you're interested in, not just the game Go, but kind of the culture around it, it's definitely a really good documentary. Or if you just like artificial intelligence, and you don't really need to know anything at all about Go to watch that. It's more just focusing on the whole process that they went through to create that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I remember watching the live streams of the games. The games were played in Korea, so it was happening
That's
at
so
like.
cool that they had it live streamed and you got to watch it.
Yeah, yeah. It
Because
was.
like chess was figured out like way before
Yeah, like
I
30 years ago
I
or
was
something.
into it.
Yeah,
Yeah, like well, it was more like
40.
it had. I mean, I was like
I don't know how long exactly, but
I was like 5 or something, so it was like 25 years ago.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was a
Yeah,
while.
I wasn't that into chess when it happened.
Yeah,
So
but
dude, and the chess player was so mad when he lost. Like,
yeah, but yeah, they live streamed it. I think it had like a ton of viewers worldwide, like 50 million or something. Most of them in China. Go is really popular there, and they have a lot of people.
mhm,
So,
yeah,
but yeah, it was live streamed in a bunch of different languages: English, Chinese, Korean, Japanese. Yeah, the Netflix documentary is really good. Yeah, it is kind of emotional.
fascinating.
Um, but yeah, so they actually got like pretty much the best native English speaking professional Go player to do commentary. He's the only native English speaker who's reached the highest professional Go rank. So that was pretty cool.
Well, that's super interesting.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely
I'll have
got
to
a
check
lot
it
of
out.
people interested in the game. Um, but yeah, since the matches were actually played in Korea, that was like 2 in the morning for me. So I didn't watch them live. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The human player played a really really incredible move in the fourth game that got him his only win of the series.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I was like watching those games the day after they happened before I waited for my morning class to start. But yeah, it was a pretty cool event. Definitely recommend that documentary.
Sweet.
And also because I'm just like really interested in artificial intelligence as well. So it's like both sides of it are really cool to me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, Neff. We haven't had Neff on here yet. If you want to come on and learn how to play next time, we could definitely arrange for that to happen. I think I'm probably gonna end the stream here. Probably gonna go and have to eat something pretty soon.
Sounds good.
But yeah, yeah. Thanks to both of you guys for coming on and playing.
Hey, thanks for teaching.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. if we can get Neff on next time, that would be pretty cool. Otherwise, be in if I'm not already busy when I notice you're on. Yeah, well, we can schedule it ahead of time. Um, we can talk about that. But yeah, basically what I've been doing for the streams is both times now I've had a new player to teach. The first time it was uh, Midori Kage. What does she go by? Asahina something Masami. Yeah, so that was the first stream, and then this stream it was Evan, and then kind of after I teach them how to play and play a game or two, we bring other people on like Tristram Wolf to play some games as well. Alright, yeah, sounds good. I will see you later. Um, how far out do we want to plan our Clan Wars Go tournament? That is a good question. I feel like it's still probably a little bit too early for that. I think we should probably get some more people interested first. So currently we have Masami, I think it was, and possibly Neff as two Crane players. We have, if Tristram Wolf played, I guess he would be for Unicorn, and then Evan would be Phoenix. And then I guess WHW is Phoenix as well, I think. Although I see they also have the minor clan tag. Maybe they would want to represent a minor clan instead, since we already have a Phoenix. But yeah, that seems like probably not enough players. I think we should probably get a few more first. But yeah. Ooh. This looks pretty spicy. I think you have to play here, right? No, because then black plays there. Ooh, what do? You just play here? You have 2 liberties. You have to win a co. I guess that's the best thing. But yeah, we'll figure that out. I was thinking one thing that would be cool would be if we got our own Go channel, we could do like a daily life and death problem or something. Is this the Hane? Then he Hane's, right? Ooh, maybe play here. And he descends. Yeah. Is that fine? Yeah, dead shape. But yeah, we could try to get that going. I don't want to think about this right now. Ideally like to have one for each clan first, yeah. Yeah, if we could get a date set up for a couple months out, that might be good. Oh, Tristram Wolf, I don't know if you've seen this, but I was working on making some custom promos actually for court games using traditional Japanese artwork. So I have like some low resolution samples here. The original idea was to use, because there's a lot of pictures of samurai like tossing go boards around. So that was the original idea, to use one of those, and it would be more crab-like. But there's also some nice artwork like this one here and this one. This one's kind of funny. But yeah, if we could get some of those done, that would probably be a pretty cool prize to give out for that. I would probably not participate myself because I'm pretty good at it compared to what everyone else would probably be. I think I could probably get another crab. I know jokingly was saying he was interested in learning before. Maybe I can get him interested again. But yeah, we'll have to find some more people for the other clans. Whoops. But yeah, we'll figure something out. I'll definitely let you know what I'm thinking. But yeah, I think that is going to be it for this stream. I'll just go ahead and see what the answer was to this. Yeah, it would definitely be nice to get people up to the full-size board. Although I think playing on a 9x9 board would not be the worst thing. Just doing a 9x9 tournament, the games would go by faster that way. And the other nice thing about me not playing would be that I could do commentary on all the games. But yeah, I don't think people would mind too much if you played, probably. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, I'll definitely think about when we could maybe do that and talk to you about it. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. I should probably eat something pretty soon. It's been a while. But yes, thank you to everyone for hanging out. Thanks as well to those of you who played. Yeah, see you later. It was good having you on. It's definitely really cool getting Clausius in here as well. I hope he keeps showing up in the future. But yeah, that's going to do it for the stream. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.